Well, good morning, my fellow Americans. If you see right in the center, let me see if I can zoom. Oh, wow, it does zoom. If you can see right in the center, there's this big ship coming in or going out of the harbor. It's about 8:30, maybe 9 in the morning. And I woke up with, I didn't sleep here last night, but I did stay till about 7 o'clock. And then I left out into the street areas. There was a lot of parking around here. I didn't realize how much opportunity there is. I parked I parked right in front of only a few blocks away from where I'm at, and what you see over there on the other side is Coronado military base, so that goes to show you where I'm at. And in this area, or in this parking lot, there used to be like a lot of people parked all in these parking lots over this building there, on the opposite side of that building. There used to be a lot of people parked in their RVs, vans. I mean, they were literally making home there, nesting. But they suddenly, also on this side over here, there's a parking lot. Well, you can't see it, but on the other side of this is the bathroom right here. And this is the bathroom. But on the other side, there's a humongous parking lot. That is a big military ship. It looks bigger from here, from where I'm at. And there used to be a lot of people parked over there also overnight. And I also used to park over there. But they claimed that there was too many people leaving trash, and that's not true. that is not true. It's just a cop-out, just to, get the people out of there. But I will admit that there was some people there that were literally, hold on, drop my sunglasses. But there was literally people there that were like, man, they were nesting there. And this is a really nice park too. I mean, I don't know, man. I thought it was too much. Some of these vans and motorhomes were, well, a lot of these motorhomes were huge. And they'd be nesting there, and some of them looked like crap, to tell you the truth. But, but I didn't see any trash like people were saying. The reason why they the reason why they started enforcing it, they said, is because of that. But that's bullshit. That's not true. I never saw anybody in their parking lot, in their parking stalls, with a bunch of crap outside. They kept it, very decent, despite, them looking, their RVs looking old and, kind of, some of them are kind of ugly, some of them were, okay. But there was a lot of people also that were like in canes and walkers and things like that, and but I mean, I guess when you stay there too long, I think it causes, well, I mean, you can't fucking live there, and that's what a lot of people there were doing, what I saw. And I think that's when it becomes a problem, because it's a very, very nice area here. And I think there's Humphreys, what is it, concert hall over there? I mean, it's really, really nice. And so anyhow, I'd like to turn the camera around because, well, anyways, this stupid phone, I don't know why it doesn't turn the camera around. So anyway, so I hope this works, you guys. I'm gonna have to hold it with my hand. I woke up with, oh, by the way, did you say hi to Max? Say hi, Max. Max. Hello, Max. Hello. People have been asking how he's doing. Max has been doing wonderful. He's been doing really, really good. And I'm really, really happy. Hi, Max. Hello. Say hello, Mr. Wow. Say hello. Say hello. I bug him too much because I give him a lot of kisses all the time. Max, say hello, Max. Say hello to the camera. Say hello, papacitos. Say hello. Yeah. You're like, leave me the fuck alone. But yeah, Max has been doing really, really well. And he's been eating his medicinal food also. But I have to be very careful when I mix it because otherwise he'll just eat the meat. Yeah, he's a little fucker. And but he's been doing very good. I gotta take him to get his teeth clean because they're starting to smell. And I know I gotta do that, man. So it's $155 down in Mexico. You know, so but I know I gotta do that. I can't do it this month. Yeah. So, but yeah, I got my refrigerator freezer going there. I bought some groceries yesterday because my EBT card was filled yesterday. I thought, wow, man, that's pretty cool. And I was going to go back to the apartment to get some groceries that I had bought. And, but I was getting really stressed out, man. I said, fuck, I just left, you know, and now I got to come back. I said, shit. I said, even if it's just to pick up food, that was just stressing me out, man. And, so anyhow, so I when I found out, when I called in, because they said they were going to supposedly fill the EBT cards, I said, let's see what happens. So I called up, and sure enough, there was $155 there. I said, oh, wow. I said, I don't got to go back to the house. I said, yay. I said, just by a very small amount, because I still got to go back to the apartment later. Hello, Max. Max, hello. Say hello, Max. Say hello. I got to cut his hair later today, just a little bit. You can see his eyes more, and, you know, it's starting to grow. Also on top of here, I cut this off, you know, so you can see his eyes more. Hi, Mr. Wow. Ain't that right, Mr. Wow? Besito, mi guagua, si bonito. He's deaf. He can't hear. Although sometimes when I yell his name, I go, Max! Max! He will, like, suddenly hear me. I guess he can only hear certain frequencies. So I have to literally scream. And then he'll lift his head and look around, and then you realize that, yeah. And he'll look at me, too, because he knows that I'm calling him. So he does hear certain frequencies, and that's nice, but I can't be yelling all the time, you know. Huh, Max? You good boy, Mr. Bonito. Yes, Pepecito. I tried to remove a bunch of knots that he had the other day. I mean, a lot of them. Like, there's a couple right there, you know, right here. And I do have his comb somewhere over here. And I keep forgetting that that I have his shots here. This is where I take him to Dr. Zoo down in Tijuana. It's right across the border as soon as you walk. And but let me turn the camera around here. As far as crossing the border, you know, again, these videos of mine, I mean, be prepared, because I'm not going to be like combing my hair, you know, a lot, because a lot of the times that I want to do these videos are like really early. Well, sometimes in the morning, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta comb my hair, and this. I'm like, whatever, man. So I said, you know what, I just do the video like that and, and see what happens. But I did buy me a spray bottle. I don't know if you saw it. Well, you can't see it, but there's a spray bottle over there. And because of that, to comb my hair in the mornings. All I do is spray it and just comb it, and it works. So, but today I didn't do it because I woke up very strange with I may have to put my sunglasses on because the sunlight, I mean, take a look at this. I have cataracts. There's that glare right there. You see that from the sun? And there's also like a glare. You can't see it on the cell phone, but I can. And the light is strong that it's starting to kind of annoy my eyes because of my cataracts. And so I may have to put the sunglasses on in a minute here, because that's a little too much for me. And yeah, there's like glare all over around. So what was I saying? Yeah, about Mexico. I was watching a video yesterday of an immigration attorney, and the guy was talking about what you need to look after. I'm not an illegal, but I do worry because I'm a citizen from my parents, through my parents, of naturalization. And the attorney was talking about how to prepare yourself if you get stopped by ICE. So he was saying that this big beautiful bill that Trump made will have, I forget how many thousands of new ICE people, agents, and Border Patrol, more like ICE people. And the guy was saying that there's going to be more ICE officers in your towns. And and I know they're going to be here in San Diego and in other big cities like New York, San Francisco, Chicago, and things like that. And I said, and he was saying that they can literally stop you if they think that you're an illegal. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it reminded me of Hitler. It reminded me of the Nazi times. My decaf coffee. Oh man. And it was hot too. Anyways, yeah, it was reminding me of the Nazi times when they would literally stop anybody that looked like a Jew. I said, wow, man. So these ICE agents are going to stop anybody that looks like, well, what ethnicity is mostly in here in America? Mexicans, anybody that looks brown, Latin. I said, fuck, man. So the only reason I'm worried is because, well, I think I mentioned to you guys before that I lived as a different person like 12 years ago. In 2013, I stopped, and then I slowly began to change. About maybe 2015 is when I completely made a change. So it's been about 10 years, and I don't look nothing like I used to, or like my documents and my citizenship papers. Let me see if it's still recording. Yeah, I don't look nothing like it, and I've been stupid procrastinating from changing my certificate of citizenship to the new name and to the new photograph of what I look like now. And I just been stupid, man, procrastinating. And I've never been harassed or hassled at the border. I've driven through there. I've walked through there so many times. And they've been very nice about it always. They've been very, very nice. Okay, I'll say it. I detransitioned, okay? I lived 20 some years as a female. You know, if that bothers you, well then too fucking bad, man. Go somewhere else. I've been always afraid of that because it's just so embarrassing, and I know people hate it right now, that the whole detransition shit, but I'm not going to go into that subject in this channel. Maybe in the future. Anyway, so there, okay, I lived as a female for 20 some years, and I detransitioned in 2013, but I had to slowly further change after that. It was quite a bit of process, but I believe I'm traumatized a little bit because of, here I said I wasn't going to talk about it, huh? So anyway, so I also keep saying that I had a lot of money before, and And I did when I was living as a female. So I practically went from living, and I'm not going to say how I made money. Maybe one day I'll go into all that. But I went from living very healthy financially, I mean very, very healthy, to being a poor, broke person, you know, with SSDI, not SSI, SSDI. And I got it through my last job, my benefits. You know, I got it through my last job, but so anyhow, I could go into a whole subject about how I feel about that. So the citizenship, it came through my parents, because my parents came here the legal way, and they did the whole, I gotta worry about if it's recording still. Yes, it is. They came here the legal way. They did the whole, you know, they would be driven from, I think, Mexico, Tijuana to San Diego, out to work out in the fields, pick strawberries and stuff like that. And you know, back then the chemicals, the pesticides, they were in the planes, they were flying right over the employees, you know, picking fields, and they would spray. It was terrible, they said. So anyway, so they did the whole thing, and they earned it, you know. They waited and waited, you know, they did the right thing every time. The first they earned the visa, and then the work permit, and then the green card. I don't know how it works, but I think first it's the work permit, and then you get the temporary green card, and then you get your permanent green card, and then you apply for citizenship, and they had to learn English, you know, and they did the whole, and then my mom immigrated us, her children, because I had the picture before where all of us were in that picture. And as kids, little babies, you know, and my mom was there. Boy, I wish I had that picture. But I remember it in my mind, you know, my mom holding us 4 kids, her 4 sons, on her visa. I don't know what happened to that, man. That's such a beautiful picture. So then she immigrated my father. And when that happened, then she began to immigrate other relatives of ours, like her sister and her kids, and some other people also from another aunt. And then I found out that I became a U.S. citizen automatically, because according to the law, there's 2 different laws. There's a current one and there's an old one. I fell under the old one because it said that if you lived with your parents and your parents were married and you never left the house, and your parents were not divorced or separated and they lived in the same house the whole time, and if they became U.S. citizen, then you, who were a child of theirs, and you were under 18, then you automatically, it said, became a U.S. citizen. Well, I for years fought that, because against, I mean, I don't know, back then I was just a stupid little kid thinking that, oh no, I'm a Mexican, you know, viva la raza Mexico, stupid ass mentality like that, you know. And for years I kept paying the green card. Stupid. And then one day I found out that I was automatically a U.S. citizen, so why was I still paying for the green card? I guess they don't communicate very well, the immigration people. They don't, like, one doesn't know what's going on with the other. They're all different agencies, you know. Man, so then I went to ask the immigration, the INS, I think it's called, and I told them, I said, hey man, blah, 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 and sure enough, they said, you're right. And do you have your documents and all that? I said, yes. So I showed him, and he said, yes, you are. You know, they verified and all that. And anyway, so the guy said, yeah, you're a U.S. citizen. You can come and pick your certificate of citizenship. I said, no, man. I said, I want to be there with a flag, and I want to be sworn in, you know, and wave and put my hand under the Bible and all that. I said, I want to be just a crummy, oh, here's your certificate. No, I felt proud, man, you know, of that. back then. And I started losing my American pride when Trump began to announce that, and this is why I worried, that he began to announce that he was going to go after people who became naturalized who became citizens through naturalization through your parents. And then he was going after the American Indians, saying that they need to investigate their blood to see what percentage. I'm like, what the fuck is that about, man? You know, that's, again, going back to fucking Hitler. Seriously, I mean, think about that. Isn't that what Hitler did? Same shit with their own Nazi people. They verified their blood lineage to see how much Aryan they were. That's what he did. And then with the Jews, the same thing, you know. If you look like a Jew, then you're out. Well, now they're saying, like this attorney said, if you look like a brown person or like an illegal, they'll stop you and they'll question you. Like, wow, man, what the fuck is all this? So anyway, so the attorney was talking about how to protect yourself, and he said, keep your documents with you, he said. I said, okay. And I don't have them with me. Duh. Because once that starts, once these new agents get in on board, he says sometime around 2026, and they're going to start funding these new part of them too, but more of ICE agents. You know, is this thing recording still? Yes. So I just began to get really concerned, and he was giving a lot of advice on what to do if they stop you. And he basically said, remain silent. All you got to do is tell them your name and your address, and nothing more. And if they take you in to talk to ask to be given an attorney, well, they're not even giving attorneys to a lot of these people who are arrested. You know, I've seen that. So I said, you know, keep your papers with you in your van, and if something happens, well, at least you can show them. But the problem is that, you know, my image on the photo of my citizenship document is nothing like me. But they can find you anyways with your fingerprint. And that's what the attorney was saying. He goes, you can lie to them and give them a bunch of false information, but they're still going to find you. He goes, all they got to do is do your fingerprint. I said, okay, well, there's another evidence of mine that's me, you know. If they say, no, that's not you, you don't look like that. Because I don't, man. I mean, not because of the mustache or the beard. I mean, your face literally changes when you get older. It really does. And boy, man, I look very young and attractive in that photograph of mine. Of course, I got a bunch of makeup on, and you know, but and I'm laughing, but I'm also embarrassed. But I look really young in that picture. I mean, really young. I mean, I've aged a lot because of stress and anxiety and problems, man. But anyhow, this morning I was also talking about that I woke up a little weird. I woke up with some dizziness and almost vertigo, and I can still feel it a little bit right now, a very, very small amount. And I wanted to sleep in more, but I can literally still feel it right now, you know, when I'm trying to. So I thought, you know what? I said, why don't you make this video and talk about a few things. So yeah, so so anyways, thanks for watching the video from yesterday also about me believing it's the final draw on that apartment. There's really nothing to go after anymore. And I thought about it this morning. I said, if you go back, I said, maybe it'll be quiet for a few days, blah, 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 but then it'll fucking happen again. And I said, you know what? I said, why waste my money? Why continue wasting my money, man? I could save that money for a trailer or to move somewhere. Let's say the trailer didn't work out, okay? Let's say I got the trailer and, you know, I had problems parking it. That's the main concern, where to park it, you know. I'm not going to be living on the streets here in San Diego. No, I'm not interested in that. Maybe a night or two if I'm passing by, but not to live here like a lot of these people do. No, I want to find a base to stay, whether it's 6 months in Baja and then another 6 months in Quartzsite, you know, things like that. And so anyway, so I said, yeah, you know, you could save all that money, man, instead of throwing it away to that fucking shithole, you know, and feeding the fucking owners of that place, charging $2,300 for that fucking shithole. You know, they're harboring nothing but drug addicts in there. The majority, a high majority of people there are just nothing but fucking low-life trash, druggies, dirty fucking hoodlums is what it is, you know. Anyways, I gotta come down here and have my I gotta have my cinnamon roll donut. I love cinnamon roll donuts, you guys. I went to Winchell's yesterday in the night, and I ate half of it. I ate half of it because there's a Winchell's over where I've been parking out here, and I said, "Hey, man, don't eat it, man. You're gonna be up all night from that sugar." and then in the morning, you know, I wanted to really enjoy my coffee and my donut, and I guess I am right now, so in a ways. But that vertical dizziness, man, it was weird. And I've had them before, and they gave me this medication, and I'm so glad that it's here in my van. Meclizine. Yeah, Meclizine. Well, now you just saw my name. It's called Meclizine. And so hopefully that thing will work. I don't know how quick it helps to start wearing off the, you know. So anyway, say goodbye, Max. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye, Mr. Wow. You have to say goodbye, Mr. Bonito. Wow. Max, say goodbye, papas. Okay, bye, you guys.